But all of this, I'll be honest, all of this is a sideshow in relation to the decisions that affected the league title. The game at Fir Park with Hearts, and then the next game at Fir Park involving Celtic. Those two games and the VAR decisions and non-decisions are what have impacted the league title. And that's an undeniable fact.
Raging, isn't he? Fuming. That sounds better, that.
When this whole thing started, a lot of Celtic fans actually backed Michael Stewart against the SFA because his original argument made sense. He was saying Scottish referees were incompetent, not good enough at their jobs, inconsistent, poor use of VAR, bad decision making. And honestly, most football fans in Scotland could agree with that. Celtic fans especially know all about dodgy decisions and shocking officiating over the years. But somewhere along the line, Stewart completely changed his tune. This stopped being about incompetence and started becoming about alleged bias towards Celtic. That's the moment he lost the plot. Because there's a massive difference between saying referees are poor at their jobs and suggesting referees are actively helping one club. One is criticism, the other is paranoia. And by going down that road, Stewart has basically proven the SFA right to ban him from Hampden in the first place. Because now it no longer looks like a pundit criticising standards. It looks like a pundit relentlessly targeting referees, fueling suspicion, and pushing anti-Celtic narratives every single week. That's the irony in all of this. A lot of Celtic fans defended Stewart at the start because they believed he genuinely wanted accountability and better officiating. But now, he's undermined his own argument completely. Because if Scottish refs are as incompetent as he originally claimed, then mistakes happen across the board. That's football. But suddenly, whenever a big decision goes Celtic's way, Stewart changes from the refs are incompetent to questions need asked about Celtic benefiting. So which is it? Are these referees hopelessly incapable of doing their jobs properly? Or are they somehow organised enough to favour Celtic? Because the two arguments completely contradict each other, and that contradiction has exposed exactly what this has become. Not analysis, not objective criticism, but emotion, bitterness, and agenda-driven punditry. Every single Celtic decision suddenly becomes a national scandal. Every VAR call becomes another excuse for Stewart to imply corruption without ever fully saying it outright. That's the game he's been playing. Insinuation, suspicion, narrative building. And Celtic fans have seen this for years from sections of the Scottish media. Whenever Celtic dominates, certain pundits simply cannot handle it. They need excuses. They need controversy. Because admitting Celtic are simply the biggest and most successful club in the country is too difficult for some people to accept. And Stewart has fallen headfirst into that mentality. The hypocrisy is unbelievable as well. Where was this outrage when Celtic fans were complaining about terrible decisions for years? Where was the constant pressure on officials then? But now suddenly, when a few decisions go Celtic's way, Stewart turns into Scotland's top conspiracy detective overnight. It's embarrassing. And honestly, the more he talks, the more the SFA's decision starts to look justified. Not because referees should be protected from criticism. They absolutely should not. But because Stewart crossed the line from criticism into harassment and implication. At that point, you're no longer analysing football. You're actively poisoning the atmosphere around referees and feeding hysteria around Celtic. And the funniest part in all of this is that Stewart has ended up destroying his own credibility more than anyone else's, because he started with a reasonable argument about standards and ended with anti-Celtic conspiracy talk that completely contradicts everything he originally said. In the end, Michael Stewart didn't expose Scottish football. He exposed himself.